Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Nur Anis Nasuha binti Aluzi. My number message is 1252840. I'm from Group 6, Kelantan Warrior. The company we choose is Top Glove in Malaysia. Now, let's move to the topic which is conflict and negotiation. In this moment, I would like to introduce some of background Top Glove Corporation. Top Glove is a Malaysian multinational company and the world's largest manufacturer of rubber glove. The company was founded in 1991 by Tan Sri Dr. Lee Wee Chai and Puan Sri Tong Sui Bee. It started with only one factory, one production line, and around 100 employees. Today, Top Glove produces various types of glove, including latex glove, natural glove, surgical glove, and specialty glove for different industries. The company exports its product to more than 190 countries around the world and has established a strong global presence. Besides focusing on quality products, Top Glove is also committed to innovation, sustainability, and corporate social responsibility. For your information, conflict and negotiation are important elements in organizational management. Conflict happens when individuals or groups have different interests, needs, or opinions. Negotiation is the process of discussing and finding an agreement to solve disagreements. Effective conflict management and negotiation help improve relationship, decision-making, and organizational performance. Furthermore, I would like to talk about historical development the Thomas Kilmer Conflict Mode Instrument, or TKI. It was developed by Kenneth Thomas and Ralph Kilmer in 1974. This theory explains that conflict management is based on two dimensions: assertiveness, which is concern for our own interests, and cooperativeness, which is concern for other people's interests. Based on these dimensions, there are 5 conflict management styles. The first style is competing, where individuals focus on achieving their own goals. Secondly is avoiding, where people avoid discussing the conflict. Thirdly is accommodating, which priorities maintaining relationship and meeting others' needs. Number 4 is compromising, where both parties make concessions to reach an acceptable solution. The last one is collaborating, involve working together to find a win-win solution, and is often considered the most effective approach for long-term success. Next, I will continue about negotiation. What is negotiation? Negotiation is the process where two or more parties with different interests communicate to reach an agreement. According to Walton and McCarthy, there are two main bargaining strategies: distributive bargaining and integrative bargaining. Distributive bargaining follows the idea of a fixed pie, where resources are limited and one party's gain becomes the other party's loss. Therefore, it is known as a win-lose approach. On the other hand, integrative bargaining focuses on cooperation and creating solutions that benefit both parties. This approach is known as a win-win strategy and helps maintain long-term relationships. In conclusion, there is no single best way to manage conflict because each style depends on the situation and the people involved. Effective conflict management and negotiation help the organization improve relationship, make better decisions, and achieve long-term success. That's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Muhammad Hazim Bibakri. My metric number is 1252812. Okay, first I want to explain about how Top Glove Company applies theory the Thomas Kilmer Conflict Instrument, Mood Instrument, which is TKI. The first is competing. This strictly enforces safety regulations which immediate disciplinary action for violence to prevent dodge penalty, which is the worker handle the chemical substances without protective glove or eye protection. The company takes strict immediate disciplinary actions. The second point is avoiding. Supervisor ignore minor agreements such as cafeteria chores to save time on trivia battles. For example, when the Nepal and Bangladesh worker had a petty agreement about who should clean the cafeteria table, the supervisor chose not to intervene. Okay, the next point is accommodating. They approve players' space and spend 220 million on modern dormitories to keep worker motivated. For accommodation, Top Glove prioritize the human needs of their foreign worker. Next is compromising. They implement a rational holiday shift during festival which inherent overtime pay. This point talk about finding a middle ground during festival season like Hari Raya or Deepavali. This way give both sides get a portion of what they want fairly. The last point is collaborating. They use a cross-functional team, which is R&D, QA, or production engineer to fit nitrile glove leakages without rising costs. Here, I want to explain about Walton and McAsey's theory applied in Top Glove Company. The first point is distribute bargaining for recruitment fee issues. A win-loss situation regarding financial costs. For instance, migrant worker demand a refund to the thousands of ringgit they pay to recruitment agents. Top Glove was forced to reimburse 139 million to 13,000 migrant workers following the USCBP export ban in July 2020. Workers regain their money, which is win, while Top Glove face immediate short-term financial loss, which is loss. The next point is integrate bargaining for zero-cost policy and model DOM issue, which is a win-win solution for long-term sustainability. Top Glove cover all recruitment and flight costs from the start. Worker gained a safe, debt-free environment, which is win, while Top Glove got the USCBP export ban lifted in September 2021 and regained global market, which is win. Okay, let's go to the next part.
My name is Suhaimur Bashira Mituan Abdullah, Normatrix 1252486. Today, I am going to present section 4.1, which focus on Top Glove's major conflict with U.S. Customs and Border Protection or CBP. Between 2020 and 2021, the U.S. authorities officially placed an import ban on Top Glove products. This drastic move happened because of several allegations regarding forced labor practice within their manufacturing sites. Specifically, foreign workers were facing incredibly high requirement fees, substandard living treatments, and unfair working conditions. Since the United States was Top Glove's primary market and biggest source of income, this ban dealt a massive financial hit to the company. It completely ruined their international sales, crushed investor confidence, and badly damaged their global corporate image. Now, let's move on the next slide to see how this affected their workers' accommodations. Moving on to section 4.2, Top Glove faced another several internal crises, this time regarding their workers' accommodations under Act 446. During the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic, government inspectors raided their corporate living quarters. They discovered that the staff hostels were dangerously overcrowded and completely failed to meet local housing laws. Because hundreds of workers were packed into such tight, cramped spaces, a massive virus outbreak quickly spread through the workforce. This health crisis forced Top Glove to temporarily shut down several of their main manufacturing factories, heavily disrupting their production lines. On top of the public embarrassment, the company faced multiple criminal charges. They had to pay heavy legal fines to the courts and ultimately spend millions of ringgit to completely upgrade their staff housing, buy proper equipment, and rent legal apartments to ensure compliance. Next, let's look at the final section to see how they managed to negotiate and resolve these massive issues. Finally, section 4.3 explains how Top Glove resolved this global crisis. Instead of fighting the claims, the management chose to cooperate fully with the US authorities. They hired independent international auditors to clean up their system and took full responsibility by paying back around RM 150 million in remediation fees to their foreign workers. Thanks to these massive actions, the US government officially lifted the imported ban in September 2021. This case proves that transparency and cooperation are super important for corporate survival. That is all from me for section 4.0. Thank you so much.
In this part, I want to suggest improvement to top glove company. Firstly, manage geopolitical and supply chains conflict. For example, secure fixed contract rate with shipping companies to avoid spike caused by international maritime discussions. Secondly, upgrade labor relation and welfare, which is maintain continuous improvement in accommodation, salaries, transparent communication with internal bodies like USCBP. Okay, the next point is enhance financial and operation negotiation. For instance, negotiate with supplier to counter inflation and push the government for faster tax refund to reduce bureaucracy. The last point is invest in automation and robotic, which is implement automate sorting and robotic packing to reduce relying on slow skilled labor and prevent future work shortage. For conclusion, dynamic use of TKI theory, which successfully balance business need and safety by utilize all 5 resolution styles. Shift from distribute to integrative, which is transitioning from defensive win-loss, bargaining to collaborative win-win recruitment framework, safe top global market position. Strategic asset for stability, which is conflict management and negotiation, are not just defensive tactic, but it critical core capabilities for global business survive and long-term growth. As a closing statement, Top Glove journey proven that conflict is not a sign of failure, but an opportunity to grow.